Hey everyone, welcome back to another video, and for this video I'm going to show you guys how to install your window decal onto your vehicle doing the wet method. So let's get started. These are the tools you need for the installation. So before starting with the installation, we need to make sure we prep each glass that we're going to be doing the installation for. So in order to create your slip solution or your cleaning solution in order to clean the quarter windows, you will have to use distilled water or filtered water. You can also use regular tap water. The only thing with tap water is that it has minerals, so we don't recommend using that because it may leave some type of haziness or spotting on the quarter window or any glass that you're working on when you're cleaning it off. So we always recommend distilled water or filtered water. That way it doesn't leave any residues on the actual quarter window glass. So for this example, I will be using a 16-ounce bottle. So I already filled it up with distilled water up to the 16 ounces. And for the choice of shampoo, I'm using the Johnson baby shampoo. You can also use Dawn shampoo. This one we use normally because the solution that this shampoo has, you're able to move the film around or the decal around wherever you're trying to position your decal to the glass. So once you fill it up with 16 ounces, grab your dish soap, baby shampoo, and all you need is about 2 to 3 drops. So that's 1, 2, 3. It just depends how slippery you want your slip solution to be when you're trying to reposition the American flag or any other quarter window decal to your glass. So if you want a good amount of slip, you would probably do 3 drops. If you want a decent amount, 2 should be fine. And you will close it, shake it well. And it also depends on the weather as well. Since in hotter climates, if you apply slip solution to the glass, the slip solution will dry up faster. And if it's a colder climate, then you will need about the same amount, roughly about how we just put right now, 2 to 3. Just make sure to double check the type of environment you're working in. That way you know how much shampoo or dish soap you need to apply in order to create your slip solution. Something to keep in mind before I forget about the soap solution is not to apply too much soap when creating your slip solution, because if you apply too much soap, then the decal will have issues adhering to the quarter window. And also too much soap will lead to the drying process to take longer than expected. So make sure to just apply enough to where you're able to position the film to wherever you need to position it on the quarter window, and that's it. You don't need too much because, like I said, if it's too much, then the drying process will take longer and the decal might not even adhere to the quarter window. Also, another thing you can use, it is optional, but if you have any hard contaminants that are on your glass, let's say like tar, oils, wax, or grease, or any coating as well, so like ceramic coating, you can use TACK solution to create that solution. You would just, depending on what size bottle you have, it doesn't really matter. You would just fill it up halfway, the bottle, with distilled water or filtered water, and the rest you will use isopropyl alcohol. We recommend 70% when trying to fill up for your TACK solution. So before starting with the installation, we need to make sure we prep the quarter window that we're going to be working on, or if you have a rear window that you need to work on, make sure to prep that one as well. So to prep it, once you have your slip solution, just apply it onto the quarter window, and you will grab a clean microfiber towel and just make sure to start removing any contaminants that the glass may have. So make sure you prep this one. If you have the other side, prep that one as well. It's important to clean the surrounding area as well. That way, in case the film does slide down, it doesn't catch any contaminants around the area of quarter window wherever you're working on. This is optional, but if you do have any hard contaminants, like I mentioned, oils, wax, or any coating, you will need your TACK solution. Once you have your solution, you would spray it onto the other side of the clean microfiber towel, and you would just start removing those hard contaminants. Another optional thing you can use in order to prep the glass is if you have some type of glass cleaning product. So for example, this one right here, we use this one. Just make sure whichever glass cleaning product you do get, just make sure it says ammonia free. That way you don't have any issues when it comes to doing the installation, because the ammonia may affect the adhesive on the decal. So if you have this available, you can use it as well. once it's ready to go, then we can start with the installation. So if you ordered a flag that comes rolled up, you will receive it in the box with a QR code showing you the instructions on how to go about the installation. And if your decal comes rolled up, you will receive a squeegee as well. For decals that come in a flat envelope, the squeegee won't be included. In order to secure and tack down your film, you can use a credit card or some type of hard card in order to tack down the film. Since it is already flat, it should be more easier to go about with the installation. So when you receive your order, you will receive it with the QR code installation instructions on how to go about installing your window decal. So when you receive it, grab your mobile phone and make sure you have it flat. That way the camera is able to read the QR code. So open it and it takes you directly to the website, and it gives you the written instructions on how to go about the installation, how to create the slip solution like I mentioned earlier, and you just read through and it will take you to the installation video as well, and then much more instructions on how to go about unrolling the film, flattening it out, how to go about with the installation process, and so forth. So you can use that installation instructions, that way you're able to install your decal to the quarter window. So remove the tape, and as you notice, since your decal has been rolled up, it will come like this. So the first thing you need to do is make sure you flatten out the decal. Some decals will come with little air pocket or tunnel. So you see right here, it's a little hard to see, but there's like a air tunnel here. So in order to remove that or any other air tunnels that you may have, all you need to do is just try to flatten it out as much as possible. You can apply tape on the edges if you need help, just so it can hold it in one position. But in order to remove the air tunnels, just lift the film carefully from one edge and make sure you're lifting the transfer tape with the actual decal. Try not to touch the adhesive and carefully just lift it. So you lift it carefully up until where the air tunnel is located. So it's right there, and we just need to be careful. In order to tack it down, we're going to just secure this side first. So if you still have your bottle or something to hold the backing paper, you can use it, and you will lift it up to where the air tunnel is located. You will grab your squeegee and just start squeegeeing it, tacking it down slowly. That way we're able to remove that air pocket that you may encounter on your decal. So that's one way of going about it. And then you would tack it down like this. So okay, and you would do the same in case you did order, let's say, a leopard or a cow print. Just inspect it. If you do see that it does have the pockets, just make sure you flatten it out from the front. You can use your squeegee. Just make sure to go slow. That way you don't crease the film. Just lift the film slowly. And because the leopards do have more spots, just make sure the transfer tape is coming up with the decal. And then wherever you see those pockets, you would stop. Hold it, make sure you're not touching the glue on the decal, and grab your squeegee and just tack it down. And that's pretty much it. That will help flatten out the flag. We've also seen people, another thing you can do in order to flatten out the flag is flip it around. You can put two objects on both ends. That way you're able to flatten it out. You may have to wait maybe about 10-20 minutes to help it flatten out. We've also seen people recommend flattening out by placing some type of book or a big cardboard to flatten it out. But this method should work in order to remove any air pockets or air tunnels that we had, like how we had with this one. So when it comes to doing the installation, once you unroll it and it's ready to go, and you prep your quarter window or the rear window, whichever you're doing the installation for, you can start with the install. So just applying just a little bit of slip solution. You don't have to go too crazy when it comes to doing the installation or applying slip solution. And then you're going to slowly peel off the backing paper from the decal and the transfer tape. So make sure the transfer tape is still attached to the decal. And as you're removing the transfer tape, make sure to start applying slip solution. Just a little bit, you don't need too much. And remove the rest of the backing paper from the decal. So just apply just a little bit, not too much of the slip solution, and then place it onto the quarter window that you're working on. As you can see, you have some movement when it comes to trying to align the film, but you can still feel some friction. So this amount of slip solution should be good in order to secure it, align it, and then tack it down. So make sure it's on the edge, make sure you have it aligned, and just readjust it if needed. Just double check the top section, should be good. Always inspect before you start squeegeeing, that way in case it is misaligned, you don't accidentally have to redo everything again. So always inspect that everything is aligned. Once you have everything aligned to the quarter window, you can start holding it, grab your squeegee, and then work your way out. The first thing, when you grab your squeegee, just go lightly. That way we're able to start helping the adhesive tack down to the quarter window. So it's just a light pass right now. And if you encounter this air pocket that was in the beginning, just slowly grab your squeegee, pass around it just slowly. So just make sure you secure the decal. And then once you do the first pass, then you could grab your squeegee and just start applying just a little bit more pressure. Make sure you focus on the areas where the strips are located. That way we're able to remove the moisture that's underneath the transfer tape and the decal itself. Okay, so while we let the film cure and let the adhesive start tacking down to the quarter window, you can start doing the other installation on the other side of the quarter window. If you're only doing one flag for your vehicle, then just let it cure. The curing time depends all on the type of weather condition you're working on as well. And also, like I mentioned, it also depends on how much soap you use for creating your slip solution. So since we're using 2 quarter windows, we'll let this one sit here and then we'll work on the other one. For the other side, I'm going to do the leopard print. That way you see how it is when it goes for the process for the installation for the leopard or cow prints. So when it comes to doing the installation for the leopard or the cow print, it's basically the same thing as how we did it from the other end. You would just carefully peel one side. So make sure when you're peeling the backing paper away from the decal and the transfer tape, make sure the decal itself is still on the transfer tape, and you would just peel it slowly. You can do this on the table as well, just so you could feel more safe when removing the backing paper from the decal. Grab your slip solution, start spraying it. And then spray the quarter window as well. Okay, so once you peeled it off and you spray slip solution on the adhesive and on the quarter window, same steps as how we did with the other one. Place it and just make sure to align it all around the quarter window. Make sure everything's aligned. You can always double check and see if it's going to align. So for example, the decal here, it's going to sit perfect right there. So this alignment should be good. And it looks like it covers everything. So we're good. Okay, so now you would go ahead and grab your squeegee, and same steps as how we did it for the other one. You would repeat it on this side here. Just hold it in position. The first pass is just going to be a light pass. That way we're able to remove as much of the solution from underneath the film as possible. Something you can do in case you need to reposition the film is lift it and tack it down. And one thing I forgot to mention, when it comes to letting the film dry, for example, the other side, just wait about 3 to 5 minutes before you go back again and start squeegeeing and taking it down. Same thing for the other side. just wait about 3 to 5 minutes. That way we help the film sit on the quarter window, and then we could do one last pass with our squeegee to tack it down. Okay, so once you finish tacking down the quarter window on both ends, now it's the curing process. So to help with the curing process for the decals, for the quarter windows, and if you have the rear one, we recommend parking the car outside under the sunlight. That way the sun can help the adhesive on the transfer tape or the decal cure faster. So make sure to just park it on a safe spot and let the sunlight hit the quarter window, and that will help the curing process for the adhesive for the decal. Okay, so like mentioned, we recommend parking the vehicle outside. That way the sunlight is able to help with the curing process for your decal that was installed. Also, something to keep in mind, depending on the weather condition also, if it is raining, we do not recommend parking the vehicle outside. Just keep it indoors or under a covered space. That way the water, if it is raining, is not damaging the decal curing process. The curing process, it all depends on the type of weather condition you are having at the moment for the installation. So if it's a sunny day, it may dry out faster, maybe 30 minutes, maybe less. But if it's too cold or it's raining, then the drying process will vary as well. It might take longer, maybe more than 30 minutes, maybe even more than 60 minutes. So keep that in mind when you're doing the installation, and making sure just let the decal dry, fully dry. And then once it's ready to go, if it's ready to go, you can test it out and see by peeling off just a little bit of the transfer tape. If you see that the transfer tape is coming off easily and the decal itself is not lifting, then you can start slowly peeling off the rest of it. But if decal is lifting as you're pulling the transfer tape, we recommend to still wait. When it comes to the leopard prints or the cow prints, but mainly the leopard prints, try to park the vehicle directly so the sunlight hits the leopard print on the quarter window. The reason being is because since the leopard prints, they're more smaller, you need a little bit more curing. So make sure to let the leopard print and the cow print cure more. That may take maybe 30 minutes, 60 minutes. Then it all depends on the weather condition. So now we just left the vehicle outside, let it cure, and now we're just going to see if the adhesive on the decal was able to cure. We're going to do this side first, and then we'll move on to the leopard. So when it comes to removing the transfer tape, we recommend starting where the star is located if you have the American flag or the American flag distress. So start from the star and peel it off slowly. And when you peel off the transfer tape, make sure you're peeling it off like this at an angle. We don't want to pull the transfer tape towards us, because if we pull it towards us like this, then there might be a possibility or a chance that the decal will lift and come with us as well. So make sure you peel it slowly like this. And then we recommend peeling this entire row of the strip first. So take your time peeling it off. And once you have the entire section for the American flag, all the strips are showing, then we can start moving and removing the transfer tape until we reach to this end. So this is how the American flag should look after you remove the transfer tape. As you can see, everything's good. The air pocket that was here that we fixed, it's good. There's no creases, no air, everything's just flat. Okay, and now we'll do the same step for the leopard. With this one, you could start from either end, it doesn't really matter. It's just wherever you feel more comfortable with. Just with this one, since there are a lot of small spots, we recommend taking your time when removing the transfer tape from the decal. So make sure and check, peel it slowly. Make sure that the decal is sticking. If it's sticking, then you can slowly start removing the transfer tape from the decal. Okay, so just peel off the corner. And then same steps as how we did it with the other side. Just go at an angle. That way you're able to remove the transfer tape. If this happens to you where the film is lifting, just slowly bring it down. I mean, right now I can't really show you guys because it's sticking to the quarter window like it's supposed to. But if that comes up for you guys, just slowly tack it down with your finger and adjust it and remove any air bubbles. And just like that, you have your leopard print now on your quarter window, and if you have the American flag, it will look like how we had it on the other end. So now you just wipe it off just to remove any water spots like these here. Since we let the decal sit, you will see this, but it's easy to clean with just slip solution. Make sure if you are cleaning it after you remove the transfer tape, make sure to take your time cleaning it off, because the microfiber towel may catch on the edges of the decal. So just be careful when you're doing this not to apply too much pressure. So you can definitely do this type of installation in an outside environment. Just make sure to always have precautions. Make sure you're not working in a windy situation. Make sure you have a clean panel to work on. Make sure there's no dust or any contaminants or any debris hitting the quarter window as you're doing the installation outside. So a bit of aftercare. So when it comes to the aftercare, we recommend just let the decal dry naturally. Make sure not to expose it to high pressure water or just washing the vehicle within the first 48 hours. That way you let the adhesive on the film properly cure. So if you do happen to see any moisture bubbles trapped underneath the decal, those should evaporate by itself over time. But if you do have them after a couple days, you can just grab a small needle, poke a hole where the bubble is located, and then slowly apply a little bit of pressure with your finger or with the squeegee. And you can also use a heat gun or some type of heat source like a hairdryer in order to apply it on top and flatten out the surface where you poke the hole. But you only need to do that in case the bubbles are still there after a couple days. And when it comes for the long-term maintenance for any decal, when you install it on your quarter window, you want to make sure not to apply any Windex or any chemicals that would cause any harm to the decal and to the adhesive. For example, if you apply Windex, that will loosen up the adhesive on the decal and it's just going to fall off. So just make sure if you are planning to clean the window, just make sure to use products that are ammonia free. That way you don't have any damages onto the decal and the adhesive. So that concludes the installation video for the window decal installation doing the wet method. We hope that the video helped you guys out with the installation. If you guys have any questions, feel free to reach us out below. We'll have the contact information ready for you guys. Thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you guys in the next one.